Exercise 4.3 Season of Practice It. Write a method named season that takes two integers as parameters, representing a month and a day, and that returns a string indicating the season for that month and day. Assume that months are specified as an integer between 1 and 12, 1 for January, 2 for February, and so on, and that the day of the month is a number between 1 and 31. If the date falls between 12:16 and 3:15, you should return winter. If the date falls between 3:16 and 6:15, you should return spring. If the date falls between 6:16 and 9:15, you should return summer. And if the date falls between 9:16 and 12:15, you should return fall. So starting off by writing our method, we had to return a string indicating the season. So that is the type, and it is called season. And the problem states that we had to accept a month and a day as parameters, and the month and day are represented as integers between 1 and 12 for the month and 1 and 31 for the day. So we are going to be using an integer. Okay, so we should create a bunch of if statements to check all of these conditions, like if a certain parameter falls between any of these days, we just have to check all of them. And I'm going to comment, like, to organize each set of if statements. I also recommend doing so because there will be tons of if statements and it will get messy and it's going to be confusing to read. So for our winter conditions, we're going to check this one first. If it's 12:16 and onwards. So if the month is 12 and the day should be greater than or equal to 16 because it starts at 16 and it goes onward all the way till March 15th. So this is for one of the statements. We could return winter. And if the month is 1, we already know it's going to be winter. We don't have to check the days because the month 1 is in between 12:16 and 3:15. And this also applies to month 2. We do not have to check the days. But for month 3, however, we do have to check the days because it's like at the end of the condition. So the month 3, then it has to be less than or equal to 15 because that's what it goes up to if it's winter. So those are all for our winter conditions. And now we're going to be doing spring. And we'll do something very similar. If it's 3 and it must be greater than 16, then we could return spring. And if it's month 4 or 5, we know that it will be spring. And for the last condition, if it's month 6, then it must be less than 15 for it to still be spring. And now we're gonna check for summer. So if it's month 6, then it must be greater than or equal to 16. And I'm just gonna do the other ones real quick. If it's 7 and if it's 8, then it's summer. And if the month ends up being 9, we just have to make it less than or equal to 15. And I'm just gonna copy and paste this. And last but not least, we had to do fall. Yeah. So it says 9, 16, and greater than or equal to 16. And that is the end of our statements. Now, if we were to submit this, we would actually be getting an error saying that we don't have a return statement. But if we just do else return like an empty string, that would still work. Now, the reason we have an error is because technically it is possible that the program doesn't end up returning any of these conditions. Like, all these conditions could be false, but that's only assuming if like the month is like 15 or something. But the problem does state that it is one in between 1 and 12 and 1 and 31. So this is just a fix, but it won't actually affect anything. And that's 100%. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.